call the first speaker to the front of the room. From Libertarian Toastmasters, Ken Krawchuk, will speak, I'll Never Fly. I'll Never Fly.
Who's the kid ones? Hey, I'm not the only one. Mr. Contest Master, fellow Toastmasters and guests, remember when you were a kid, you go for a ride somewhere with your parents in the back seat of the car, maybe with a friend or a sibling, and you know how it is with kids. Sooner or later, you get into trouble. And if your dad was anything like mine, he'd be driving along and he'd say, come on kids, knock it off. And if you kept it up, he'd just shift his gears a little bit, turn around. I said, knock it off. But if you really pushed the envelope, came those dreaded words, don't make me stop this car. Am I right? But that was then, and this is now. And we're all grown up. Let me ask, how many of you find yourself in the front seat saying those exact same words? Unfortunately, annoying behavior isn't limited to kids traveling in the back seat of a car. How many of you have been to an airport lately? Talk about annoying. Long lines of shoeless passengers, blue-gloved TSA agents doing pat-downs that would make Madonna blush. And then there are those irradiating scanners that reveal everything. Is something going on in America's backseat? What would it take before you personally decided to do something about it? Would it be the indignity of being treated like a terrorist? Having some minimum wage government employee groping your grandmother? Or snapping naked pictures of your children? Everyone has their tipping point. And when enough finally was enough and you decided to stop that car, what would you do? Now, most people ask that question, like, hey, what can one ordinary person do against a big behemoth like the TSA? Don't ask me. I think the person you should ask is Rosa Parks. We all know the story of Rosa Parks, the African-American woman who refused to go to the back of the bus. They arrested her for her courage, and that arrest triggered the great Montgomery bus boycott. African-Americans refused to ride the bus in support of Rosa Parks. That boycott lasted 381 days, over a year, drove the bus company to the brink of bankruptcy before they finally repealed those Jim Crow laws. 10 years later, the Civil Rights Act was passed. 50 years later, we elected our first African-American president. What can one ordinary person do? Lots. But that was then, and this is now. And once again, basic human dignity is under assault by a government transportation authority. And the question becomes, what can one ordinary person do? Correction, what can one Toastmaster do? Let me tell you what this Toastmaster did. It all started November a year ago, 3 days before the District 38 conference. A few of us were sitting around talking about the new security procedures they had put in place at the airport. Now, we travel a lot, and I have 3 beautiful daughters. We decided enough was enough. We were going to try to stop that car, or more properly, stop that plane. We were going to take a page out of Rosa Parks' book, and we declared Thanksgiving Eve, the busiest travel day of the year, to be National Opt-Out Day. We were going to encourage travelers not to fly, instead to take other forms of transportation. So we picked out a name, We Won't Fly. We put together some buttons. I know you can't see it from there, but it says, opt out. No radiation, no groping. We also put together some flyers, and you're lucky you can't see this, because this shows exactly what those scanners show. Put together a website, wewon'tfly.com, went live, crossed our fingers, and hoped for the best. Our friends told us, you guys are crazy! It'll never fly! But a funny thing happened. took off. Within a week, we were getting over 70,000 hits a day on our website, over 20,000 Facebook followers. Then the phone started ringing. Local media, statewide media, national media, international media. We were getting calls from Brazil, from Britain, from Russia, from Japan, from Iran. Whoopi Goldberg was talking about us on her show. We organized rallies at 27 airports around the nation. I organized a Philadelphia rally. Did you see me on TV? I was on CBS, ABC, NBC, CNN, Canadian CNN. Those 3 weeks running up to Thanksgiving Eve, it was like constant table topics. Well, finally, come the day, Thanksgiving Eve, you go to the train stations, jam. You go to the bus stations, jam. You go to the airport, hear the crickets. They were deserted. AAA did a poll and found out that 94% of the American public opted out of flying in favor of driving a car. And a Zogby poll said that in the beginning of November, there was an 81% approval of the security theater, and on Thanksgiving Eve, it was a 61% disapproval. We flipped public opinion. Better yet, the TSA blinked. They turned off those pornographic scanners that day and subjected people to less intrusive pat-downs. And best of all, the TSA chief himself said that basic human dignity was a factor to be considered in the replacement security system. And today they're putting in new scanners that protect your privacy. You know what that means? We won. We stopped that car. And they said it would never fly. Well, that's this Toastmasters story. What's your story? What's going on in your backseat? What bus are they sending you to the back of? But more importantly, what are you going to do about it? You're Toastmasters, remember. That means you have unusually strong speaking skills, the kind you need to command at an international stage. You have unusually strong leadership skills, the kind it takes to organize a nationwide boycott. It's an old proverb that says, you don't light a lamp and stick it under a bushel basket. Instead, you hold that lamp high and you let it shine. My fellow Toastmasters, my mission here today is to remind you of 3 things. When enough is enough, your back is against the wall. It's time to stop that car. Remember your training. Remember Rosa Parks. And remember to shine.